I'm SNUB23. I'm based down in Brighton. I wasn't born there, but that's where I've ended up.
And how did you first get into the wonderful world of graffiti?
I guess it was in the 90s era when I see it as when there's a cultural shift, things like this happen. So when computers really took over with design, so Photoshop and Illustrator. For me, that was a massive transition because when I studied art, there wasn't any of that. So I learned all the analog ways of screen printing, photography, and everything like that. And then all of a sudden there was this technology that could do it all. But then what happened was there was the kick-off where people could do it at home. So everyone had their own computer, so they're all doing it. So you kind of lose I guess there was a shift in creative output. It wasn't just for the professionals, it's for the masses. And I loved all that because it meant that other people could experience what I was doing, understood what I was doing a bit more. So it opened the world of graphics to everyone, I think. Good and bad, floodgates open. And I think we're even getting it a bit now again with the AI stuff. It's all shifting again. The same stories coming out where people say it's just a tool. The same thing happened with photography when that was first invented. All the fine artists were like, oh my God, photography's ruined art. So these are all stepping stones. And I think street art has ridden along with these changes. Like the punk scene, it's never really died. It just keeps morphing into a new output. So for me, I've just been riding along with it all really. It's changed around me. I haven't really been a changer of things. I've stuck to what I like and I've progressed. Well, if you look at my work, old work, and look at it now, you can see I've got better. And that is the whole point for me. I like the idea that it doesn't stay the same. It has to keep moving. Otherwise, it's really boring for me.
Yeah, you've described there robots, your style, and evolution. How would you describe your evolution with graffiti?
Because I come from more of a comic book based thing. So when I grew up, I lived in a little village in the middle of nowhere, and I had the Beano comic in 2000 AD. That was about it. I used to go Saturday cinema. I had a bit of rubbish. We only had like 3 TV channels back then. I'm well old. It was black and white TV even. So I come from a place where I was starved of input. So I guess those images that I saw when I was a kid struck really strong with me. So the idea that these characters in the comic were whatever so when you read a book, you imagine a world. When I read a comic, I imagine that world as well. And then obviously with music as well. So electronic music was developing at around the same time. So a lot of my work reflects that, I guess, the evolution and changes in my music tastes, as well as trying to organise the chaos maybe. So the isometric work I do is very tidy and precise. So it's all about perfection and the satisfaction of like finishing the jigsaw puzzle, that kind of feeling. So you're always like, like when we paint a wall and you finish it, it's a lovely satisfying feeling. And then when other people like it and understand it, that's when it really works. The same like we were talking earlier about with music. If you make a song and then you play it to yourself, you like it, that's good. You play it to an audience and they dig it, that's a whole other thing. So you're connecting with other people and they're understanding your message. And I guess my message has always been stand strong, be you. I guess I've always been tall, so people have always treated me like I'm a big scary man when really I'm not. So I guess it's like my character I paint is this big scary robot. And maybe that's the mask that people see. It could go deep into it, I guess. But I do believe we all wear a mask and we project ourselves in our work and the way we are. So maybe this is just me projecting myself visually. So I always talked about wearing armour. So SNUB is my armour, I guess. So SNUB is me and I am SNUB. It's a weird symbiosis. So sometimes I really feel like I am him. And other times I'm not. It's strange. Yes. So the robot is me, I guess. I always have been. It's like revealing who blooming Iron Man is, isn't it? I am Iron Man. I am SNUB.
So you mentioned the comic books and possibly the artists that would have illustrated those books. Presumably those would have been an inspiration initially. Who's inspired you either in your formative years or through your sort of graffiti journey then?
I guess when I meet a lot of other artists, when I meet them in different ways. So I'll see their work online sometimes, and sometimes I'll never have heard their work, and I see them working. And sometimes the way they're working and their dedication to it and their process completely blows me away. And I'm not even looking at the work sometimes because I'm blown away either how quick they did it, how efficiently they are doing it, and then there's other pieces of work that I can't comprehend. Like Peter, for example, the one he'll paint the corner of a building to make like the corner's disappeared. Those kind of mind-boggling ones I like. If you were to ask who my favourite artist is on the scene right now, that's one of your questions, is Ed Hicks. I think Ed Hicks is everyone's favourite every artist's favourite artist, because he cuts to the pure feeling of what art can do to you. So when you stand in front of him on his piece, I mean, he'll laugh at this comparison. But as a kid, I'd go to the Tate with my family, and I'd see a Rothko. And Rothko's pieces are so big and so engulfing, especially when you're little. They make you feel small. And I guess that's what a lot of graffiti, these mural-based works do, because of the scale of them. They can make you feel like a speck. So his work does that to me instantly. Like I painted next to him in Glasgow, and within 10 minutes, his piece was better than mine. And I'd been there a day. So it's like, and people were stopping and staring, and people would you'd see people walk past who were not even interested in anything else, but then they spot his stuff and they're just drawn to it like bees to a flower. It was just like he was, every mark he made enhanced it, and you could tell that he could stop at any point and it would be finished. For me, he was, so that blows me away because of the freedom he has in being able to just let that flow out of him. But then there's other artists that I see the passion they have in their work, dedication. So the stencil cutters like Snick, who will spend weeks making a thing just for that moment at the end of painting it, that build up. I can't cope with that anymore. I'm too instant gratification. And then you've got the classics like Arrow, who's forever, he's become like a graffiti jazz man now. You just give him a bunch of colours and then he'll make a thing that you didn't think was possible. And then he'll tell you he's colourblind, and you'll go, what? Because he's just done that most colourful, beautiful, colourful, the harmonies are just right. And it's just, that'll blow me away. A lot of artists out there, all inspiring, all moving forward, like a big wave of colour.
What advice would you give to your younger self if you were starting out either now
don't smoke.
Or don't smoke? Yeah. In terms of your art or your graffiti or setting out now, what would you give your younger self advice wise?
When you have an art journey, you don't really realise that it's started.
Yeah.
It just kind of happens. I guess when I did a lot of stuff on stickers and stencils and paste ups and things before I really got into the freehand stuff. And I wish I'd done freehand stuff earlier, maybe. But maybe it wasn't the right time for that. Your life and your art, they all like a mishmash of things. I'm a father now, and when she was born, it changed my whole drive. So I was even more driven when she turned up, because I felt I wanted to be something for her to be proud of. So I guess that's when I did a lot more life drawing and figurative drawing. So a lot of people presume that real art is when you can paint something to look like a real thing. I don't see it that way. I think that you paint a thing, it's an idea in your head, and it comes out in that way. So I would have said to my younger self, stop worrying about the branding so much, establishing your name so much, which is what a lot of graffiti is, and focus more on the drawing. Because once you can draw a thing, it's like being able to play a piano. I said to someone the other day, when you see someone play a piano and they're looking at the keys, they're doing it. The moment they're not looking anymore and they're looking at the person, when you can do that with drawing, it's a whole very different ball game now. So when I have anything that makes a mark there in my hand, I feel happy and joyous drawing it. I'm not nervous about it. It doesn't mean that what I'm going to make is great. It means that I like it, and that's what's important. It's not really whether someone else goes, oh, that looks really cool, because I'm not trying to impress them anymore. I'm just trying to progress and impress myself. And that's the better way to be, rather than trying to paint something that someone else will like, because that's a fool's errand. You're never going to, because all you're going to end up doing is not enjoying what you're painting, and doing it for money, and that's money is not the answer to happiness.
So what matters more to you? Technique, originality, or being consistent in your art?
Technique, I think. I mean, I love a good finish, a sharp line, and like I said earlier about that finished jigsaw piece, I get a sense of satisfaction when I look at the wall and go, yeah. Because a lot of the time we'd go and paint a wall, I'd take a photo, be in the car on the way home, look at the photo and spot something you'd missed. So over the years you learn to filter that out so that you're completely happy with it before you leave, you know. And we've stayed a long time here now, so I've got enough time to progress and get it finished how I want it. I'm sure there'll be more in it, but the next one will be better. So you just keep on moving forward. This one I'm really pleased with the shadows I've done at the end. So that's going to be the bit I'm going to enjoy. I guess with the AI thing, that's where the originality part would come in for me. Because you can recognise AI at the moment. Eventually, you won't be able to.
Mm.
And if artists paint AI, then all we're doing is facilitating those companies again. In my opinion, the same occurs to people who paint branded artwork. So people who paint Mickey Mouse and Disney stuff, people who paint things that are already an existing brand, a company. So if you start painting the Apple logo on the wall, all you're doing is making these mega billionaires more money. So stop it. Just paint things from your own head, and even if they're weird, that's what we want. We don't want. I don't want any more Disney, please. Thanks.
What's your current favourite piece of your own?
Ooh.
It could be past or present, really.
Well, this one, it's always the one you're doing at the time, but this, at the moment, I'd say I'm producing 3 different things. I'm making my glitchy tag, drippy tag. I'm doing my robots still, but then I'm doing these guys, which are the speaker heads, which I'm actually taking further next. So I've got plans to make them into 3D models, and then they're gonna have interchangeable heads, and they may even have Bluetooth speakers in the heads, things like that. So I've got friends who make 3D print stuff, and I've been offered by a company to make it. So it may become a thing that you can actually own. So I like the idea of having these coming off the wall and being the thing. It is technology you can use now, and there is good usage for AI. You can use them for good things, just not for things that we can do ourselves.
Is there anyone you'd like to give a particular shout out and mention that we haven't already talked about?
My mega super fantastic partner Sprite,
yeah,
who's now has the biggest wall out of Fest now, and her development and progress has been insane, and I haven't had anything to do with a lot of that. You know, I do. She has watched me mess things up, probably learnt from me falling over. She's more organised than me. Her work is developing and progressing, but I think the female element in this culture is growing, and it's great to see. And it's more diverse now, I guess. We've got illustrators painting walls, muralists doing street art, and it's all meshed together again. And there's a whole generation of kids that have watched us do what we're doing and want to do it their own way, I guess. Who else is there? My gang that are coming, there's Molar, Ed209 and Sad Nut coming up from Brighton. That's my crew I paint with all the time. It's my old homie Fark, who comes here a lot. I haven't seen him for ages actually. But some people you don't need to see all the time. You know, you know they're there and they know you're there. You know, there's Noel who was here last weekend, who I missed. There's Mr. Zero from Budapest, I'll be painting with him soon. The network is big. There's loads of people that I know and respect, and I know that I could phone them up right now and they'd have a wall with me for me and some paint wherever I wanted to go. You know, I mean, it's a lovely network and a culture. I'm proud to be part of it.
Yeah.
And I want to protect it, so we need to look after it and stay creative and original. And
your social media links. Where are you? What are they?
SNUB23.com.
Yep.
And everything's on there. My Instagram's snub_23. But if you Google SNUB23, you'll find me. that's also to do with Sprite, because he's really good at SEO.
Perfect. Happy days. Yeah, lovely.
Representing.